This article talks about census. Now, currently, census is in the editorial page because the center did not extend the deadline of June 30th to freeze the administrative boundaries for the purpose of census. This is what the article is talking about. So, in this news article discussion, we shall learn about certain facts related to census. So, let's begin with what is census. See, census is nothing but a systematic process of collecting, recording, and analyzing population data. So it is usually done by government and research foundation for better planning and program implementation. The first systematic census was conducted in the year 1881 and it continued till 2011 every 10 years. Okay, there was a gap in between because of the COVID-19. Remember, the responsibility of a decadal census is with the Office of Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India under the Ministry of Home Affairs. The confidentiality of the data collected through census is provided under Census Act 1948 and the population census is under Union List under Article 246. Okay, so these data are very important to write in your mains answer writing. You can straight away quote these facts. So when we talk about census, we cannot leave the caste census as well, right? So what is caste census? It is also census which seeks to assess the socio-economic status of various caste. The first socio-economic and caste census was conducted in the year 1931 to identify the economic condition of various communities in India. Nodal ministry is Ministry of Home Affairs. So with this basics about census and caste census, let us understand the difference between the census and the caste census. See, census is actually focused on general public and its confidentiality is protected under Census Act 1948. But when it comes to caste census, it is related to the specific community. The personal information will be used by the government department for benefit distribution and for allocation. So this is the major difference between census and the caste census. So let's talk about the census and the delimitation. See, one of the primary objective of 1881 census was delimitation. Here, those who don't know what is delimitation, it is the process of rearranging or redrawing the boundaries of electoral constituencies. This is done based on the latest census to ensure fair representation of minority community. Okay, for example, if a constituency records a majority population of scheduled caste, then a constituency will be reserved for the scheduled caste. So this is a practical example of delimitation and the census. Now we shall see about certain challenges with respect to the caste census. See, the first thing is the complex nature of caste system in India. There are thousands of caste and subcaste in India, and their nature and recognition vary across different regions. This will bring hurdle in data collection. Okay, so the first thing is complex nature. Second is politicization. The caste census data will be misused for political gains, and the extension or removal of reservation can lead to tension in the society. Thirdly, social division. See, the focus of census can increase the social division and stigmatization. Apart from this, there are issues like training and the manpower to conduct a vertical census like caste census. It needs increased manpower and training. Then we require cooperation from people. If the people don't cooperate, this can lead to misreporting and underreporting. Then social changes. This include an increased number of intercaste marriage and evolving nature of the caste system itself. Apart from this, there are certain policy implications like converting the data to feasible policies is an issue. Then finally, resistance within the administration. That is, this will affect the data collection within the administration process. Okay, so these are all certain challenges of caste census. Now let us quickly go through the opportunities of caste census. See, it helps in policy making and it helps to frame targeted policy intervention and resource allocation for poverty alleviation. For example, the Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Secondly, it leads to social justice and inclusion. The data from caste census can be used for empowering minority rights. Then it ensures a political representation. So here the data from caste census will be used for political parties and government to ensure the fair representation of the minorities. Okay, then it helps in employment, especially the caste census data will be used for understanding the composition of a particular community in the workforce. This will help in diversification of their employment opportunity. A very good example for this is the National Minorities Development Finance Corporation NMDFC loan scheme. This provides concessional loan for self-employment and income generating activities for the socio-economic development of the backward section among the notified minorities. Apart from this, it helps in developing the infrastructure and basic services in minority areas. For example, Backward Region Grant Fund. This is a government program designed to redress regional imbalance in development, then bridge critical gaps in local infrastructure and development requirements. So for developing the infrastructure, it might help. And it helps in preservation of culture. So when we could identify certain communities that are into degradation, we can help them by identifying them using the caste census. Okay, so talking about the way forward, the caste census is an opportunity for justice and equality, and also to ensure a just and harmonized society. However, to ensure the collection, we should have a proper mechanism to ensure the confidentiality to prevent the misuse and stigmatization. So these are all very important facts that you have to remember from this news article discussion. In this news article discussion, we saw about what is census, then we saw about what is caste census,